Hey guys, welcome back. It's time to take a look at another U.S. Customs and Border Protection article. I guess it's an article, investigation, whatever you want to call it. We got some archived content here. We got some more bootleggy Pokemon items. Before we looked at the trading cards, fake trading cards, the mass amount of trading cards, fake Pokemon trading cards that were brought in. Now we're going to take a look at action figurines, action figures if you prefer. So we have this article here, counterfeit Pokemon action figurines can't go past Harrisburg CBP. We got 5/15 at 2020. So this is an older one. I haven't seen this until now. So cool. I'm sure this happens all the time. I don't think it necessarily gets an article every single time. But this is probably an ongoing thing, something that they're getting all the time, especially with the recent boom in Pokemon. You got to know that all the flea markets, all the resellers, all the sketchy detchies that are third-party sellers on all of these platforms that shouldn't have third-party sellers, but do anyway because they're probably making some money off of it. This is why these are coming in. So stay away from these. Don't buy them. Don't encourage this stuff. They're not good for anything. They look terrible. We'll see if we can't open the image in a new tab after we read through this one. There's a second article as well. So here we go. Gotta catch them all. U.S. Customs and Border Protection CBP officers in Harrisburg, PA agreed with the Pokemon slogan after seizing more than 86,000 counterfeit Pokemon action figurines Wednesday. If authentic, the figurines would have had a manufacturer's suggested retail price of nearly $604,000, which is interesting because the Pokemon Company doesn't really sell anything similar to this. Exactly. Sometimes there's figurines that come in like box sets or whatever. I guess you could put a value on those. It's weird that they're putting a value on them, but I guess they have to for the sake of paperwork. While inspecting international parcels May 4th, CBP officers examined a shipment manifested as plastic furnishing articles that arrived from Hong Kong. The shipment contained 15 boxes that contained a combined 86,400 Pokemon toy action figures. Working with the trademark holder, CBP confirmed that the figurines were counterfeit. CBP import specialists appraised the shipment at $603,936. Officers seized the shipment for violating U.S. intellectual property rights. The parcel was destined to an address in Snyder County, PA. Here we go. The Pokemon figurines are counterfeit and a potential choking hazard. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that is licensed that is also a choking hazard, but the figurines are small and pose a potential choking hazard to your children. Additionally, counterfeit toys tend to be coated in excessive levels of lead paint. No lead testing was conducted on these toys. In addition to protecting the trademark holder's intellectual property rights, Customs and Border Protection's primary concern with counterfeit consumer goods is the potential harm they can cause to American consumers, such as the choking hazard these figurines pose to children, said Michelle Stover, CBP's Port Director for the Port of Harrisburg. CBP officers remain committed to working with our consumer safety partners to protect American consumers by seizing dangerous counterfeit goods at our nation's ports of entry. So the high lead, I understand. Choking hazard, I guess it's not going to have the packaging that says that you can choke on it. But there's lots of choking hazards. That's more just don't give your kids things that clearly they can choke on if they're choking age. CBP protects businesses and consumers every day through an aggressive intellectual property rights IPR enforcement program. Importation of counterfeit merchandise can cause significant revenue loss, damage to the U.S. economy, and threaten the health and safety of the American people. On a typical day in 2019, CBP officers seized $4.3 million worth of products with intellectual property rights violations. Learn more about what CBP did during a typical day in 2019. No thanks. CBP officers and Homeland Security investigation. HSI agents seized 27,599 shipments containing counterfeit goods in fiscal year 2019. The decreased from 33,810 seizures in fiscal year 2018 can be attributed to the challenges at the southern border and the 1-month government shutdown. However, the total estimated manufacturer's suggested retail price of the seized goods, had they been genuine, increased to over 1.5 billion from nearly 1.4 billion in 2018. So here we have some more of the some of the more than 86,000 counterfeit Pokemon figurines. Very cool. E-commerce sales have contributed to large volumes of low-value packages imported into the United States. In 2019, there were 144 million express shipments and 463 million international mail shipments. Over 90% of all intellectual property seizures occur in the international mail and express environments. The People's Republic of China, mainland China, and Hong Kong remained the primary source economy for seized counterfeit and pirated goods, accounting for 83% of all IPR seizures and 92% of estimated MSRP value of all IPR seizures. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. We got some sketchy detchy Pokemon. Let's open this one in a new tab as well. Open image in new tab. Let's check them out. Look at these little guys. Those I don't know why anyone ever would want these. They're pretty bad, but you know what? People buy them. They look like they're in pain. Someone please put them out of their misery. All right, second article. Let's see what we got here. Bring it back down to 100%. So they seized more counterfeit Pokemon action figurines, or figures, I guess this time, from Hong Kong. Just 1 month after seizing more than 86,000 counterfeit Pokemon action figures, U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers in Harrisburg, PA, seized more than 120,000 additional counterfeit Pokemon action figures. If authentic, this latest seizure would have had a manufacturer's suggested retail price of more than $840,000. Seizure consisted of 20 boxes and 3 shipments that arrived from Hong Kong on May 18th through 26th. Officers inspected the shipment and observed 120,480 small Pokemon action figures. Officers then confirmed with the trademark holder that the figurines were counterfeit. I don't know, do you really need to? You can just look at these and you get a pretty good idea that they're not. I know sometimes Pokemon puts out some questionable quality stuff, but nothing that looks nearly this bad. Officers seized the cash Wednesday. The shipments were destined to an address in Snyder County, PA. So it looks like they're all going to that same address. So, I mean, it's probably flagged at this point. I would imagine that they probably lost a decent amount of money. Not that these would be individually very expensive, but when you have that kind of quantity, you're probably looking at a huge chunk of change that the buyer lost on these. The figurines are small and pose a potential choking hazard to children. Additionally, counterfeit toys tend to be coated in excessive levels of lead. So we got pretty much the same article here. Pretty ridiculous. So we can take a look at these 2 images here. They kind of just rehashed, reworded, reorganized, rearranged the previous article. But what even Pokemon is that? That looks like a scary Mr. Mime. If anyone knows what Pokemon this is, please let me know. I don't know if it's painted wrong, but I can't tell. I guess this is probably an upside down oddish. I don't know what some of these are. These ones look worse than the last ones. If you guys can name all the Pokemon here, then you're doing all right. This is Obama Snow, but it's pink, I guess. So maybe the different colors are throwing me off, or if they're face down, might be a little bit harder to identify which one is which. Here's to give you an idea. At least they had the number of pieces written on the bags, so they didn't have to physically count these. I would imagine that it probably said the amount of items on the box and on the paperwork as well. They just weren't letting on that it was Pokemon items. So this is what happens with the bootleg stuff, and good on them. Glad to see that it's being taken off the market. There's really no need for this. They're pretty bad. Outside of like wanting these as a joke because they're so terrible, there's not really any reason that anyone should be buying these. There's figurines, Pokemon figurines, like the official ones that come with the card boxes are usually very inexpensive. So just get some of those. don't waste your time with this crap. But thought it was interesting that that many got seized. Again, at least the border is doing something about this. It'd be nice if all of those counterfeit cards were off the market, because it's not so bad if someone's intention is to buy some cheap cards, but not the greatest thing when then that kid goes to school and trades them, doesn't know that they're fake because their parents don't tell them that they got them fake crappy Pokemon cards, trades them, then another kid loses their real, more valuable cards. And it just creates a headache. It's an absolute mess for no reason. Just stay away from this stuff altogether. Even in terms of like YouTubers that want to make content out of like, oh look, I got cards from Wish. I wonder if they're real. Oopsie doopsie, I got scammed. No, you didn't get scammed. You knew they were fake, and stop encouraging people to buy that crap. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.